This training camp update has serious implications on the future of the Calgary Flames. With players filing in to get to the new season underway, the mindset amongst the players is a shared one: make the playoffs. But with not much change in the offseason, skeptics are asking, are these going to be the same old Flames? We're going to get into all that more in this video, but first I want to welcome you to Flames Digest. I'm Mark Griffith. If you're new around here and you love the Flames, make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the latest news, updates, reports, and rumors revolving around your Calgary Flames. We would love to welcome you to the Flames Digest family, and we have some serious implications. The whole season is on the line right now in training camp. Okay, maybe that's pushing it a little far, but we know this is when, the real tone is set for the season. And last year, the Flames players had this mindset of, look, we're going to be underdogs, we're going to prove everyone wrong, we're going to make the playoffs, and they almost did just that. They really did overperform in a way, and the mindset, well, it's similar this offseason. So, we have a wonderful article here from Wes Gilbertson of the Calgary Herald. All credit due to him. We're not going to go over, the entire article, but please feel free to go read it if you'd like. But he writes, these look like the same Calgary Flames, so how can this season be different? Little sub-headline here says, Flames forward Ryan Lomberg on the first day of training camp, the playoffs is the only thing we're eyeing. And that's your key quote right there. The Flames want to make the postseason after getting so close, essentially as close as you can without making it. 96 points. Wow. So here's a little quote to start off this. I skipped the whole intro of it, but let's just continue, shall we? As well as last year went, I don't think any of us are happy with missing the playoffs, said Flames spark plug Ryan Lomberg, ensuring after Thursday's first training camp practice that there was no confusion about the aim for this coming campaign. Last year, we did a lot of good things, didn't get in. So this year, we have to do more. And I could stop there and just say, there's your serious implications for the future, the near future, this entire season for the Flames, but we'll continue nevertheless. So last year is last year, and I was proud, and yada yada, echoed alternate captain MacKenzie Weegar. This year, it's a little different. So Weegs, Lomberg, Lamborghini, they were kind of saying the same things here, but it's different how? That's the question. That's the challenge, really, because on paper, these look like the same Flames. So if on paper they're going to be the same, how are the results going to be different? They say insanity is what? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results? Welcome to being a Flames fan. There were no major departures over the offseason. The list of goners was limited to the backup netminder, the fourth-line center, and a winger who has been off injured since early November. Obviously, that means Vladar, Rooney, and Mantha, of course. The most significant additions is the much-hyped arrival of the blue line blue chipper, Zane Parekh, who should jump from junior to the NHL at the age of 19. That's a big addition. To write a different ending this upcoming season, the Flames are counting on some of their emerging core pieces to take another substantial step. This is, again, your implications. It's the changes, the upgrades, the ways in which the Flames can be better in order to make the playoffs this year. Rising star puck stopper Dustin Wolf won 29 games en route to a Calder Trophy nomination. Can he boost that total closer to 35? Now, we expect him to play more games than he did last year, but if he can get that win total up, maybe that gets the Flames win total up from last year, and could that be enough to squeak in? Something to think about for sure. I think for Wolf, you're for a lot of goalies, you're the product of what is in front of you. Most notably the D-core. Obviously the forwards play a part in that as well, but just team defense in general. But Wolf, as we've seen, has been able to bail out the Flames a lot. Will that continue? Only time will tell. Now, Matt Coronato, there's your other key piece, really, one of those young key pieces. Now, Matt Coronato, who is skating on day one of training camp as Calgary's first-line right winger, scored 24 goals in his sophomore campaign. Can he nudge that number to 30? That's another big one. If he can, produce slightly more, obviously he should be playing all 82 games, knock on wood. He should be playing all 82. Can he bump that up to 30 with a little more ice time, maybe more time on the first line, more power play time? That could be it. The Flames just needed a little bit more offense last year and they would have snuck in. Could that be the case this year? Connor Zary told reporters at the end of an injury-plagued season that he believes he is capable of a 20-50 stat line. Can he prove himself right? That obviously means 20 goals, 50 points, not 50 assists, but Hey, if he can boost his numbers, again, more production, more offense, that is what the Flames need the most. And can Flames head coach Ryan Huska, who seemingly squeezed just about every drop from a group that finished 41, 27, and 14, squeeze a little harder? Can he coach them that much more? Maybe shore up once the game goes out of regulation. Look how many points the Flames left on the board last year had they, been able to win out of regulation a little more, whether it be an OT or the shootout. That seems to definitely be his intention, which is wonderful. Ryan Huska, honestly, underrated coach when you look at the hockey world in general. What he's done with the players he has is quite impressive, and we probably don't talk about it enough. But either way, this isn't a Ryan Huska glazing video. Now, here's another quote from Weegar. He said, "I think Husk set the expectation today," Weegar said after Thursday's tempo setter. "It was a tough practice, and I think he's getting us geared up for a hard season. Even harder than the last one." That was the crux of Huska's message as training camp opened at the Saddledome. You look at our team last year, we did a lot of great things, Huska said. And I don't want them coming in this year thinking that it just automatically is the same. It doesn't work that way. I just want them to turn the page and in doing that, be prepared to chart a new course that is going to get us where we want to be this year. And that's the most realistic take of them all. There's your implications for sure for this upcoming season. But hey, nothing is given. Everything is earned. This is a different Flames team. They need to obviously earn a chance at the playoffs as they almost did last year. We play hard, and teams now around the NHL know that. So we're not getting maybe a team's off night this year. We're not. That's the way it's going to be. So for us to get to the level we were at and find another level, we have to be better, plain and simple. We have to find a way to be better. Getting them to understand that it's going to be harder this year is an important thing, I felt. Last year is in the past. You have to leave it there. And we have an opportunity now to chart a new course. That's what is the most exciting thing. We have a group of guys that understand. The bulk of the players are all back, and I do feel like there is another step in all of them. There's a little bit more in all of them. That is one of the most refreshing quotes we have heard all summer long in the entire offseason. But Huska knowing his group that well, I mean, already that's amazing. But knowing that they're all kind of buying in to this same mindset of, yeah, we want to make the playoffs, but it's going to be tougher this year. We have to be even better. Find that next gear. Chef's kiss. There needs to be. Or it could be a similar story, a similar ending, those mushy middle Flames. That seems to be what the outsiders are expecting. We knew we were a good team last year, and we kind of proved it to ourselves in that locker room, Lomberg said. So now the playoffs is the only thing we're eyeing. We don't want to be where we were last year. A good team should have got in, blah, blah, blah. We want to get in and make some noise. Oh, baby, not even get in, but let's eye Lord Stanley while we're at it. The cup. Oh, my goodness, wonderful. But overall, amazing quotes all over the board from Lomberg, from Huska, from Weegs. Such great, implications here for Coronato, Wolf, Zary, some of the other youngsters, maybe Perek, with a little bit more. Hey, who knows? Maybe the Flames could make the playoffs this season. It'll all shake out starting soon. Now, one quick thing I wanted to show was a quick quote from Bax here about him re-signing. I was maybe going to show it yesterday, but it's just such an awesome quote from our captain. He said, "Really excited that we're going to spend the next 3 years here and be a Flame my entire career. I don't want to be traded and play playoffs somewhere else. I want to play playoffs in Calgary." And that's your captain right there. That is, he loves the city, so happy to be here, loves the organization, has given his everything to this organization. He's saying he wants to retire here. He wants to play in the playoffs here. So by that time when, he has that no movement clause, just a 10-team list and could potentially get traded, he doesn't want that. He wants to stay here, wants to play in the playoffs. Of course, we'll see what happens down the line. But either way, amazing quote from one of the best leaders this city has ever had. Obviously, this organization has ever had. And nothing but love for Backlund and his family, of course. Now let's get into the comment of the day to wrap up this video, as we love to do here on the channel. Comes from yesterday's video, of course. And this was a good one here from Scott. Scott says, "Kid has huge potential." Obviously talking about Zane Perek here. He says, "Kid has huge potential. Let's hope his accolades translate to the NHL level, and the Flames may have a legit superstar on their hands." Fingers are crossed for that, but all signs are looking good so far. We just got to support him like crazy, and hopefully he can do some amazing things for the organization in the future. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you saw here today, and have a wonderful rest of your day.